Good evening, welcome back for another episode of Keeping It Simple. Today we are doing it 1 hour late. Hmm. I was caught up with some household matters, but it's okay. Now we are all set, and it has been a lovely journey. I just recognize that this is the 44th episode of Keeping It Simple, and that means it's more than 10 months we have been having this. Because of your support and your involvement, participation, asking questions. So keep on supporting us, keep on participating with us. And Dhruv is here. Dhruv, welcome. How are you?
J- I'm good, भैया जय गुरुदेव.
Jai Gurudev. So another new hairstyle from Dhruv. So every time I have to comment about his hairstyle and his look.
No, I shaved this time, as I said last time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See.
And this time you look little South Indian with the tika and all that.
Yes, भैया.
Good, good, good. Nice to have you. Dhruv. So we
Yeah,
are having
भैया.
enough questions, Dhruv, for this time.
Yes, भैया. We have about four questions and the questions from the audience also.
Okay, good, 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 good. So we can start, Dhruv.
Okay, भैया. भैया, the first question this week is how to get over family karma or how to evolve through bad family karma.
See, nobody can escape karma. Mm. Even sleeping is a karma, eating is a karma. Mm. So that is what life is. And we have only control over what we can do, isn't it? What we can do in a particular situation, what is our abilities, what are the possibilities, all that decides what we can do. But what is the outcome going to be from those karmas, nobody knows. Mm. So we continue to keep on doing what we can do and leave the rest. Sometimes the same efforts and same things give you a very good result, and the same karma and same actions and everything can give you adverse reactions at other times also. So time also has uh, a role to play. Place also has a role to play, and there is a secret substance which we don't know. We can just say Ishwar Anugraha, the blessings of the divine. So sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. Sometimes, without doing anything, you get everything possible, and sometimes you do everything possible and everything goes in a mess. So we really don't know. And it's the same with family karma also. You keep on doing your pujas, you keep on doing your sadhana. When you are strong in sadhana, your sadhana affects 7 generations before and 7 generations afterwards. Mm. From that perspective, your sadhana can also help you overcome your family karma. Mm. So whatever is possible, we do our sadhana, whatever pujas from time to time, whatever is possible, we do, and then whatever has to happen will happen. Okay, that is what is like.
Yeah, भैया. All right. Bhaiya, the next question is I don't like how some elders show that they have done favor to me, like introducing me to the path. However little they have contributed, I do not want to keep their favor. How to pay back and be free?
Yeah, the only way of you paying back is, not having the desire that I want to pay back. Just respect for whatever they have done. Have gratitude. That's all. People come, be grateful for whatever people come in our lives and whatever they do. Sometimes people do good things also, and sometimes people do bad things also. Mm. And both are okay. When people do bad things, they also teach us what not to do in life. Okay. So from that perspective, just feel grateful for all the people who are there. Some have brought us on the path, some have done some good things, some have done some bad things. And that gratitude brings grace in life. Okay. And we cannot be selective in our gratitude. Be grateful for everything, express gratitude for everything in life. Okay.
Okay, Bhaiya. There's of being slash seeking enlightenment if you have to suffer?
See, being enlightened does not mean you're not going to suffer. It's a body. Body follows its own laws and whatever. If you sometimes don't take care of the body and you go through this, and sometimes you pick up. When you're a safety person, you pick up other people's karma also. We don't know why they went through whatever they went through. But one thing is there, in spite of that body going through that pain and suffering, they were smiling. That is a state of enlightenment. Enlightenment means what? You don't feel any sorrow in life. Irrespective of what situation, what condition your body is in, mind is in, you feel freedom from all sorrow. That is what is enlightenment. Okay. So no sorrow does not mean no problem. When there is no problem and you have no sorrow, it's a very conditional state of non being not in sorrow. But unconditional is no matter what happens in my life, good things happen, bad things happen. People accuse me, abuse me, people praise me. In all conditions, whether my body is healthy or not, I am happy. That is what I think is a state of enlightenment, where you go beyond the state of sorrow. And beyond a state of sorrow does not mean you don't go through emotions. You go through some positive emotions, negative emotions, but you are untouched by whatever is happening. Whatever the body, mind goes through, at a deeper level, you are untouched by whatever. That is my assumption. You cannot really describe what it is. Gurudev says it is this also and it is not this also. It is this also and not this also. So it's a very, once he very jokingly said, there is only one rule, that there are no rules. Okay. So probably that is the state of enlightenment, that there are no rules. We cannot identify that state by the suffering the body goes through or the pain the body goes through. It's a very limited view of what enlightenment can be.
Okay, there's another question in the audience. It says, and if for the same problem you seek help again and again, then does it mean you're not learning anything?
No, not necessary. Not necessary. If you're going through a very complicated problem, so there is no one-step solution for that problem. No, you solve one step and you go on and you get stuck in the next step and the third step and the fourth step. And that is what life is all about. You think you have cracked something, but then suddenly you get stuck somewhere else. It's like, last 2, 3 times we have been discussing driving in the traffic and things like that. So sometimes, you drive through traffic and you may have noticed that every signal you get the red sign, this light, and you think you're stuck. So that can be, and sometimes you might have to take help. You're stuck from time to time. You might not know how to come out of the situation. And you ask again and again, so what? So it has got no connection that, you are weak or this. And if you think you require help and you think people can help you, please go ahead and ask. Why should you feel shy, even if you're going it for it again and again? Sometimes you take a loan and before repaying the loan, you feel the need to take another loan. That does not mean that you have not learned or you have not earned money or whatever. It's just that the business took a turn where you require a little more loan again.
Okay, Bhaiya, there's another question. What are your thoughts on lucid dreaming?
Dreams are dreams only. Whether it is lucid or placid or this way or that way, it doesn't matter. Dreams are dreams. In fact, this life is also a dream. No, why to waste time analyzing dreams? See what we did 10 years ago. Good things happen to us, bad things happen to us. All that is meaningless now. It's like a dream now. What we are talking, this conversation is also like a dream. No, just some fun. After 2, 3 days, neither you are going to remember what I said, nor I am going to remember what I said, isn't it? So the life is a dream. Why to worry about it? It's all a dream only. So lucid dreams, sometimes, yeah, dreams are lucid. So what to do? So be it. Nothing to interpret from there. There is nothing which can we can at one level there is nothing to be interpreted from life, and at another level there is so much to be interpreted. So it's all possibilities are there.
Um, there's a question from the same person. It's like, what are your thoughts on numerology? Is it a science or a subject worth studying?
The, you know, I really have not understood or gone into the understanding of the basics of numerology. I will not be able to comment. There are some people who claim to be experts. Sometimes what they say makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. If you think it is working for you, good. If you think it is not working for you, good. It's your personal choice. Hmm. I have studied a little bit of astrology. I see a little scientific basis to that, but I have not studied numerology at all. So I will not be able to comment on that.
Yeah, there's a question, a follow-up question on the topic you were discussing. Every time we seek help, we become obliged to. How to overcome that feeling?
The feeling of obligation comes when you feel you are separate from the other. Now, a child goes and asks help from his or her mother uh, many times. He doesn't feel obliged. There is a belongingness there. There is a deeper connection. Okay, so when you have a deeper connection with a person, that sense of obligation doesn't come. It's more about giving and taking and caring and sharing rather than oh did that person you know it's one level beyond obligation. It is informal, formal, or whatever, love, belongingness, whatever you call it.
Yeah, yeah, there's another question. It says in the Shanti mantra, the word Shanti is chanted only 3 times. Is there a reason why it's chanted only 3 times, or is it just a random number?
Yeah, everything in this universe is three, no? Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Mm. Then body, mind, and soul. That is also three. Okay, so that way, uh, you God, Guru, and Spirit again three. So everything is three. So one for each of this, whichever way you want to divide it. That is how it is. One for each. One for body, one for mind, one for soul. Or one for Brahma, one for Vishnu, one for. When you do this three, it is complete.
Where there's a question, say, what if bad karma is happening through you? How to stop that?
See, there is no karma which is bad. There is no karma which is totally bad. There is no karma which is totally good also. Mm, The so-called bad karma also creates something good somewhere else, and so-called good karma also creates something bad. So rather than we judging, no, Gurudev used to sing this song, Papa kya, punya kya, tu bhula de, karma kar, phal ki chinta mita de. So don't worry about paap kya hai, punya kya hai, what is good, what is bad, and keep on doing your karma. Only time will say whether this is good karma or bad karma. Okay, just move on. Don't be stuck. You did some wrong, move on. You did some right, move on with that also. Don't hold on to any of this. Okay?
Yeah, there's a question, a request for blessing is I have an interview scheduled on Tuesday, but I feel I'm not prepared. Please bless me.
Yeah, everyone who prepares for an examination or whatever goes through that sense of nervousness and things like that. That oh, I'm not well prepared. What is going to happen? So you study 100%, you prepare your 100%, and things will turn out. Blessings are also there. Okay, I have that confidence that everything will happen for the best only. Go with that.
Okay, Bhaiya, the last question I have is how to accept oneself.
Yeah. See, it is for some people, it is the most difficult to accept one's own self. You know why? Because we see so much negativity within ourselves. And we say, how can I be so negative? Then we go through our thoughts also and we see so much negative thoughts going through us. And then we say, how can I be a good person? But just having bad thoughts does not make you a bad person. Hmm. Even law, if you have a thought of killing someone, you are not punished for a thought of killing someone. You when you go and put it in, try to put it in action and whatever, then law also holds you guilty, isn't it? So just because thoughts happen, and you know the so-called negative things which you do is very small compared to what positives you do. Hmm. Once in a while you make a mistake. Once in a while you take you speak a lie. Once in a while you slip and fall into some bad act or action. Bad company. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Lift yourself up. Be sincere. Keep on doing your sadhana. mm, and do seva. Okay. So that is all that for us to lift us up from whatever we are doing. If you keep on holding, oh, I did this because of that I am bad, or this, it's labeling yourself because of whatever has happened in the past. What happened in the past is past. Mm. What is happening in the future is more important. What is happening in the present is more important. And present, none of the situations which you did in the past has any connection to your present moment now. Wake up and see there is no connection. You're a different person. You have changed over those few minutes or few days. You have changed. Mm. And just the recognition that I made a mistake or I did not do the right thing, that recognition itself is picking you up, lifting you up. That sense of hurt and guilt is your way to lift yourself up. If you didn't have that guilt, then you would continue doing that. But that guilt and regret, you know, pushes you to do some good thing. So use that regret and guilt to channelize your energy and not do that thing again and again. Sometimes, in spite of our best efforts, we keep on doing the same. It's so great. It's okay. You don't have to succeed all the time. Keep on making your efforts. Sooner or later, you may succeed. So we lost Dhruv. I'll just wait for Dhruv to join again. But meanwhile, there is a question. Uh, you feel really hurt because you love them and expect their positive saying motivates you. Hmm. So, uh, so see, what people think about you, you cannot control that. Let them think what they want to think. And waiting for somebody else to say something positive and then you will feel motivated, it is such a conditional motivation, no? Or inspiration. A person who's really inspired, he will say, let people do whatever they want to. I will inspire myself and I will achieve my goal. Hmm. Why do we, wait for somebody else's praise? No? It's a sign of a weak. A strong person will say, I am doing this because I am inspired myself. It doesn't matter what people say to me, isn't it? So drop that need to be, praised by others or liked by others. It's okay. You do what you have to do. Then another question which has come: how to overcome the feeling when you have not done anything wrong, nor intentions are, but still people take it in a wrong way, make a perception and behave differently. Uh, Coming back to the previous answer again, uh, 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 that you cannot really control what people are thinking. Sometimes all these misunderstandings happen. You make your effort to make people understand, but if they don't understand, don't be bothered. Time has created that situation. Time will only take it away. Another question is, what do you do when your loved one mm, hurt you? Yes, it is only the loved ones who can. Uh, it is only the loved ones who can hurt you. People walking on the streets, they might tell you 10,000 words, but it will not make a difference to you. But a person who's very dear to you, even a single word from them is going to hurt you. So that is what it is. So only the loved ones have the capacity to only the loved ones have capacity to hurt you. Okay. And Dhruv, I've already sent you an invitation. So you can just check. Okay. I'm not able to accept your request. Okay, so good. We will end this session here now. I don't think so. Dhruv is able to join. So wish you all the best and have a lovely week. Next week we will have another episode of Keeping It Simple. Till that time, enjoy yourself, be happy, and stay in touch. Jai Gurudev. Bye.